Alright, it's a highway feeling right here in our studio. You know it's Click Naija online radio where we have fun. And guess what, guys? We are three. Three is a perfect number to just calculate our milestones and to be happy for all of our achievements. And we are here live, to celebrate our anniversary, and we want you to celebrate with us. So my name is Jennifer Ogo, and with me is
It's Nashri Yusa, and of course I have our boss here.
drum roll.
Hello everyone, my name is Eddie here.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Our boss.
Head of Click Naija,
The face
seriously.
behind the work for the past 3 years.
I hear.
So what will you actually say now? Like, we are here. I remember when we started, it was like all fingers crossed, a lot of people with expectations, and we are right here, and it wouldn't have been possible without you guys. So we want to say a very big thank you to all of our audience.
Yeah.
And of course, how do you feel? Tell us.
I'm sure my feeling is not different from that of everybody who has been following us and from all of us here. And our wonderful, guests in the studio. I mean, they are part of our followers, our fans, our friends. You guys have been awesome. Seriously. Thank you so much for being here. If we go around the table, we will see that there are some persons that have followed us from the beginning. Someone like Shekonya has been here. I know my sister here, lovely
Obi.
has been here. She used to be a regular feature on Family Bond.
Of course, one of our programs.
Exactly.
Youth mentorship.
And exactly, so it's been fun, and we have Abdul and Steven. So
both are politicians.
Politicians joined us this year.
Yes.
It's political era now.
Yes.
Political era.
So we're happy. I'm happy. We're all happy, and we're grateful to everyone.
So can we give ourselves a round of applause? Thank you. So we are happy that we are true. We want to sincerely appreciate you again for all your commitments, all your shares, all your likes. You can remember telling them like, share, comment. It's almost like a broken record now. I mean,
No, Jennifer, you remember most of our shows. Maybe we should just do a little recap of some of the cool top shows we used to have.
Oh my god, I even made friends with some of our fans that comment.
Top fans like Simon,
Matthias,
Matthias,
Emmanuel, a lot of them.
yes, Ernest Acasio.
Yes.
So many fans. You guys are awesome.
Yes, we want to appreciate you. Thank you so much. So you'll be spending from ear to ear. Any other thing you have for us?
I'm waiting for you guys to give me the chop to eat.
Don't worry. Item 7 is right on the way. So thank you so much. So we are here happy, and we are happy that we've achieved a lot so far, and without you we wouldn't have we cannot be here. So we sincerely appreciate you and everything that you've been doing to keep Click Naija up and running. So like our boss said, this is the election season. Like, everybody can't wait for 2023. I'm anticipating. I'm seeing myself in 2023 already. And we have politicians here to analyze the role of the youth. This is a youth forum, a youth station. I mean, we all want a better Nigeria.
That's how we do.
Yes.
Well, before you guys continue,
Yeah.
I will have to leave you people
Oh.
in the hands of your wonderful guests.
Yes.
Please enjoy the show, and of course, I know they will soon start prompting you. Please share, please do this one. Make sure you share this one. Because these people will have in the studio that the big guns, I tell you. So let me take my leave and say a little peace out. Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you so much.
Have fun.
Thank you so much. All right, like if you're just joining us live, this is Click Naija online radio, and my name is Jennifer once again, and I'm co-hosting with
Nashri Yusa. Of course, we're here to give you what's the best out of Click today. So be with us.
Yes. So once again, let's introduce our guest. We have a lovely lady sitting just opposite me. Her name is Loveline Obi. So she's actually a pharmacist. Thank you so much for joining us today. And also sitting beside her, we have Abdul Anan, the chairman, Wazobia Youth Group for Nigeria. Thank you so much for
having me.
joining us. Yes. And also we have Adamu Shekoya.
Yeah.
He's actually a politician. Thank you so much for joining us today to talk about the election season and what we are here for today. Thank you so much. And last but one, we have Stephen Okoli, who is also a politician. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, please, Naija 3. What do we have for you? What do you have for us? So we are going to make this as interactive as we can. Yes. So we're actually going to be talking about the role of youth in election process, the role of young people in election process.
Yeah, so don't forget to follow us right now on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Keep Naija, and you can also hit our subscribe button right away at YouTube at Keep Naija. So we'll be starting with questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with Stephen Okoli, and tell us about the electoral process in Nigeria, about the role of the electoral young people's role in the electoral process in Nigeria.
Thank you, viewers, for having me. Thank you, Big Naija. Happy 3 years anniversary.
Thank you.
3 is significant because the number of divinity.
Yeah.
They say 3 is we have the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So it's a divine minded, and no, it's not coincidence that we're here discussing the role of youth in political process. Having pursued the way for the past 3 years of existence, the youth are the bedrock of every surviving nation. Every nation that is progressive, the youth are very important in the process of progress. You can't take away the youth from progress because you are the bedrock. Everything, every achievement, every structure, every development is anchored on youth, viable youth. On the line, viable youth. Yeah, because they are youth are not viable. We're talking about viable youth that come to the consciousness of how who they are to the nation, what they are wired to do, and to contribute to every nation. Right now, we can see that the World Cup is going on is very youth. The Nigerian Sports Festival is going on. Youth of from 18 to 24 are there going out making their state proud. So in the court process, the youth are very, very key to peaceful election. The election will be violent, it is the youth. The election have to be peaceful, it is the youth. But unfortunately, our so-called father have not given us the youth the needed platform to experience showcase their talent. Because I remember that in 60s, 50s, these same fathers of today were given platform to express themselves. But today, the old
I think the Nigerian youths now know that they are the bedrock of any democracy in the country.
yes, one thing is to be aware, another thing is to be given the platform to express yourself. You can be aware without having the platform is amount to nothing. But the truth that we are not short of viable youth. Nigeria has not been in any way short of viable youth. We have viable youth, we have youth that are creative, innovative, youth that we're not lack of ideas. We are top-notch youth in the whole world. No wonder where you find a youth of Nigeria outside the shores of nation, they make mark. But unfortunately, coming down to this place, it's not as if there's something wrong with us. It is poor mentoring, poor mentorship. We lack people who lack mentorship ideas. So what they do is to catch the youth from his spread, believing that once these are given platform, their relevance is no more. So they are afraid of being relevant in the circle. So they keep on choking the system. The problem
Come back to you, Mr. Stephen Okoli, to talk about the challenges now and the youth and political process in Nigeria. But let's hear from our only lady as a guest right now in the studio, lovely Obi.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about electoral process in Nigeria and how does it concern the youth? How do you think the youth can come in to promote electoral process in Nigeria?
Well, I will personally say Nigerian youths are already up and awake and conscious of who they are, who they really are. There is a way of, when you keep suppressing somebody, let's take for instance, you get a fly, put this fly inside a bottle and cock the fly. The fly keeps moving up and up, backward, up and down, up and down. The moment you open the fly wouldn't actually realize that it could actually fly out of that bottle. You get it? Now, But this time around, the youth have been liberated mentally. This happens to be that the fly was caged and then mentally suppressed. And over time, if you leave that bottle open, over time, if it flies by there, one day it will just spring out its head, and now eventually discover it can actually fly beyond that.
Yeah.
And I think that is the concept of the present youth, Nigerian youth right now.
Okay.
So
Okay, continue.
yeah, I think that's the concept of Nigerian youth right now. Nigerian youths are patriotic, they are productive, they are innovative, they are creative, they are hardworking, they are energetic, they are vibrant, they are zestful,
Yeah.
And so, having caged, putting a shark inside a bucket, the shark wouldn't understand that it has a capacity to swim in an ocean.
Yes.
So I think the current 2023 Nigerian youth have realized there are sharks that can swim in oceans.
All right. How did you agree with her?
Yes, I quite agree with her. First of all, let me say happy 3 years anniversary to
Thank
Naija.
you.
Thank you very much.
Having said that, I would want to agree with her because if you look at the youth involvement in 2023 electionary process, you would agree with me that Nigerian youths have wake up to the reality that this nation, the survival of this nation, is in the hands of the youths.
Okay.
No nation of the world can actually make meaningful progress without the youth. Nigerian youths are one of the most vibrant youths you can find anywhere in the world. Because best engineers, best what have you. You find Nigeria the lead before others follow. Like my Mr. Steven said, when you don't give people the platform, you really would not know what is it they can do. But good enough, the youth of today have woken up to the reality that we have to take our future in our hands. And that is why we are all getting involved in the political process.
Yeah.
You cannot make any meaningful progress if you don't get involved. We want to call on Nigerian youths, please get involved. I said it the other time I was here. It's a wake up call. You should get involved from your ward unit to any level. You have the potential. We all have what it takes to be a great nation with our youths. Thank you.
All right, let's grant Mr. Adam an opportunity to actually contribute to the question we
All right.
asked.
Firstly, I want to congratulate you once again on your third anniversary.
Thank you so much.
I was privileged to be here during the celebration of the second anniversary.
Thank
And here I am again today. And on the topic, the subject matter. Firstly, when you talk about the political process starts somewhere and then goes somewhere. I won't say it ends. It goes somewhere. Now, I don't know. I would be right to say it begins from even political commentaries. What we say as youth about our political leaders, the kind of comments we make. And then apart from that, we'll now go to the main process, which is being registered to be a voter during elections. And then after the registration, the next thing is to collect your PVC.
Yeah.
And then after the collection of PVC, the next stage is voting. After voting, we stand to defend our vote. And then after standing to defend our vote, of course, the results will be announced. And then what will now be our reactions at youth? Because, as I said, the process don't just stop even after the announcement of results. It goes even
Beyond
to the
that.
tribunal and even the Supreme Court, depending on the election that is at stake. Now, talking about Nigerian youth, it's very true that Nigerian youth have woken up.
Yeah.
Because I'm a youth, and by the grace of God, I'm a councillor, an elected councillor here in Abuja.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's true.
If we're still sleeping, I don't think I would have been a councillor by now.
Yeah.
And what I want to tell the Nigerian youth is that power is not given at all. Power is taken. There's nobody that will come to your house or even your office to give you power. You understand? And even when you come out, you don't just come out and be relaxed. You come out
and make sure you stand. Because the truth is that looking at the nature of Nigerian politics, of course, you agree with me that Nigerian politics is not as easy as politics in other in developed countries. Yes, there are lots of challenges, and the problem we are having is that most of our youth are not ready to stand.
Okay, now you've actually said the next question I'm actually going to ask, and I think that's the point where we should, that's the point where we should delve into talking about the challenges now in political process, in political participation.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Stephen has already highlighted, if you maybe we'll start from him. Just briefly tell us about some of these challenges that is actually hindering some of the Nigerian youth to participate in politics or even to exercise their franchise. You hear some young people say, now today, even if I vote, it won't count.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at this stage we should have gone past that. So what do you think are some of the challenges affecting, political process in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. In this context, we want to look at youth participation in political process in two dimensions: the active partisan youth and non-partisan youth. Now, if you look at election as is where you use the NYC corpus, doing registration, come to the time of election, these are non-partisan youths who are serving their nation wholeheartedly. And you see some of them having issues of transportation from one point to another, slowing the electoral process down. Some are not well catered for. Some will finish the election paying them money because they bought on a problem. There's not adequate security for them. So they fear for their life in even serving their fatherland, ensuring that the election is peaceful. Another thing is inducement. People want to win by all costs. What they do, they corner one PRO, one election officer to the corner. These are non-partisan aspect of it. Then they come to partisanship. Now, there's this sitting on the fence mentality of average Nigerian. It not concern me, not them.
Yeah,
That has been the orientation. Some person I grew up with. I believe them. It is dirty. They will kill you.
Yeah.
Now that has been the orientation. Some of us has been, over time growing up. But thank God that some of us has woken up, as we also said, the conscious of the fact that this system revolves around the youth. From today, the demography of the youth is 60 something percent, 9%, up to 70% of the total registration of Nigeria. 67, which means that this process is being championed by the youth. Now, what are the challenges? We've seen a situation where the election, as I said earlier, mentoring, lack of proper mentorship. I can remember the likes of Azikwe, Awolowo, they were mentored. People give them platform. People lead them through. People support the ideas. People say, okay, you can do this. You don't know how far you can go. If somebody don't give you platform, one of them is
current issue in Nigeria
is mentorship, adequate mentoring, by the political class. That is one. Yes. Two is a monetization of election. They monetize election using it as a weapon.
It's quite expensive.
It's quite expensive. Another thing, you have used poverty to weaponize the electoral process. By the time they are jacked with resources, they make you come hand in hand begging for what belongs to you. You lack the willpower, you lack the self-esteem because you don't have what it takes. Look at the education system. They strangle the system whereby you cannot go to school. If you're not knowledgeable enough, you don't know you're right. Bible said my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So the sixth knowledge for the circulation, it takes to be educated adequately, it takes millions of naira. So these are the weapons they've used to make you not be active in politics.
So Abdul, can you continue with part of the effects? Can you give us more of the effects that affect?
Like he said, truly, mentorship is really an issue. But for my political party, at least we have a candidate who has a track record of mentoring a whole lot of the youth. And that is why, to the glory of God, I am the board of trustee chairman of one of the leading support group in Nigeria. I am a youth. Whenever you talk about a board of trustee chairman, you look at people in their 70s, 80s. But to the glory of God, I'm a youth. And we are being mentored. Now, the challenge is not just the mentorship, but Nigerian youth are not availing themselves to be mentored. You cannot address a situation you don't know the root cause. So many of us don't even know history. And this issue of Nigeria and Nigeria surviving as a nation, you need to date it back to history. Like he rightly said, the likes of Azikiwe, Awolowo, and the rest of them were mentored. And they also mentored others. But the Nigerian youth of today just thinks the process is, I just have to get it. No, you can't get it. You have to be mentored by someone.
So what is the solution?
The solution now is Nigerian youth should avail themselves in the process, get involved. Don't sit down on the fence and say, nah, them. No,
But
it's you.
Mr. Stevie said something like finance.
You see, the issue of finance, yes, I'll quite agree with Mr. Stephen. Election in Nigeria has been monetized to a certain extent. But the youth, mind you, the Nigerian Constitution states freedom of association. The youth can go and form a political party. We have the young progressive, what's it called, the YPP as a political party
But
that is meant for the youth.
I'll still come in late. It's for the youth, but they have financial problem.
No! Now, you don't need money for everything. You need the conscience first, and you need to get involved. If the youth of Nigeria today say, this is our candidate, I bet you no political party can survive fighting the youth. If the youth put their votes in one place, nobody. Mind you, we are about 70% of the voter register.
But these are the figures, statistics that are being written, that are being shown, and obviously they are true. But you find people say my vote won't count. They
The
believe
mentality
there
of
is
my
no
vote
free-
won't count. There is beavers now.
Okay.
Everybody should be aware. With beavers, it's no longer business as usual.
Okay.
Whoever
votes
thinks
will count.
vote will count. Nigerian youth needs to get this. Your vote will count in 2023. It's no longer business as usual. The way you go to the bank, you do your BVN, you get verified, that is the work of the beavers. So it's no longer a case of you accredit 50 people, you come out with the result of 100 people. The number of those that are printed that the beavers captured is the number of votes expected from that polling unit. The youth need to be enlightened about this. Please go out in 2023 and cast your vote. Don't disenfranchise yourself. Your vote will count in 2023. This is important.
Okay, I think lovely Obi. She's
Yeah.
smiling. That's all. I don't know what you have for us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I forgot to say congratulations.
No, it's
for the
okay.
happy
Thank you,
anniversary.
Thank you.
Okay. There are three categories of Nigerian youths.
Okay.
Those that know what they want and know how to get about what they want.
Sure.
Those that know what they want
I can see one here.
but don't know how to get about what they want.
Yeah.
And then those that don't even know what they want at
all.
all.
They're the bigger problem of Nigeria.
Of course. So those that know what they want, they know that there is this revolution going on currently.
Yes.
And they know what to do and how to get about what they want, despite all odds. So they go out of their way, they stick out their necks to get it right this time. Thank God for NSA's protest. It actually opened up Nigerian youth to know and realize their capacities. So you have those people like that. And if you see that NSA's protest, some people were like, if they perish, let them perish.
It was like a wake-up call.
Good. Now, those that know what they want and don't know how to get about them. That's why I think some of us are here to educate. To tell you, okay, go out, go get your PVCs. Don't think it's business as usual. Go ahead and do what you're supposed to do. But those that don't know what they want, they are OS members. They would be in all the political rallies. They are there for toggery, there because of the peanuts that they will get out of the politicians.
Well, I think this point you made, to me, I feel is the bane of corruption, is the bane of negativity in the minds of youth not believing in Nigerians now. These little handouts that are being given probably during the election, can you talk? I want us to really talk about it. Let's talk about it, the consequence now. Let's talk about the consequence now in the future and how it affects Nigeria in totality.
Just like they've said earlier, there are so many mental weapons that have been used against Nigerians. Lack of information, like what he said, impoverished society, kind of unemployment, getting them to be poor, and these things makes the youths, they don't even know where to, whether to take their left or their right. They don't even know where to start from. And the same people that, made the system bad, they are still using the youth against the same system. So the system is quite dysfunctional, if I must say, if you compare to Western countries where things, what you can plan your life. You can say in the next 5 days I should do this, and that's it. Why? Not because you're a prophet or anything, but because the system has structured in a way that you can actually do it. You go into the system and you roll like that. So, but Nigerians, we've seen ourselves in a system that is dysfunctional, and the whole thing is not even. So we tend to just adapt to whatever we're seeing, and Nigerians are very good in adaptation.
Okay, that will take me to Adamu, as a counselor in your right. Like what she said now, the system. You are in the system. Is the system pressing the youth?
Well, you see, the truth is that the solution to our problems is in our hands as youth. That's the truth. Because there are two forms of participation in politics: the legal way and the illegal way. Now, when you talk of the illegal way, I tell you, even though most of our old people, as I said, are part of our problem, but majority of our youth are still our own problems. Because when you talk about political thuggery, who are those set of people that are used as political
Because
thugs?
you don't say any elderly person.
So you understand? When you talk of vote buying, who are the people that distribute the money?
They are the youth. Because you will
When you even talk of the changing of figures on election results, who are those people that does this?
The youth, I don't know what they want.
Talk about if you talk of the security that is always being manipulated. Who are those people that are the security? The youth. You understand? So the solution is in our hands. If we decide today that all these things must come to an end, I'm telling you, they will definitely come to an end.
So you are in the system. What do you think the youth should do to make it come to an end?
I think what I will encourage is more participation. More participation. More participation. Right now, currently, you look at the set of leaders that we have, majority of them are not youth. Majority are elderly people. They are the ones that are deciding for us. Go to the Senate, go to the House of Representatives, go to the executive arm, the president, governors, and then local government chairman. You find that most of them are elderly people, and that is why this set of people will never make laws that will favor you.
That's
You understand? So if we have more youth in governance, of course, I don't need to tell you that the kind of decisions, the kind of policies, the kind of laws that will make will be favorable to the youth.
yes.
So more participation is what we need. Let's participate in politics. I always tell my friends that even if you are doing business, still participate in politics. We understand. The Dangotes and Otedolas that we're talking about participating indirectly in politics. If you are not doing it from
Directly,
they are doing it indirectly, because if you like, whether you like it or not, every election that comes, they have their candidate. And from the background,
If they do,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
perish.
Of course, from the background, they do one or two things to support their candidate. So whether you're a businessman, an engineer, a health practitioner, even a media person, participate in politics.
Now, I want to ask you this question. These are two youth group members, and they are leading two powerful youth groups. Is it helping the politics of Nigeria, you that are inside the system?
Of course, because my so that's my presence in politics at the grassroots level is an encouragement to other youth.
Sure.
You understand? It's an encouragement to other youth. So and there's no how I will be there, and then I won't speak. I won't do things that will favor my fellow youth. You understand? And that's why I said we need more. What we need is more participation, because we have more people. Though presently we are lucky in Buhari Area Council. Out of the 10 councillors that we have, majority of us are youth. So of course, we want to even the chairman himself.
Are you united?
Very united.
Okay.
That's the truth. We are very united. Even our local government chairman is a youth. So by the grace of God, we want to. In fact, we have already started. You understand? So we want to do things by grace of God. This what we're doing are things that will bring about the progress and development of our
Okay.
youth. So let other people emulate. That's all we're
Okay,
saying.
let's we actually want to have your comments on the program today. We are talking about the role of young people in electoral process in Nigeria. 2023 is around the corner and we can't wait to know who our next president will be. And if you don't contribute to programs like this, I mean, where else can you start, shooting your shots? So we
Please drop
actually
your comments.
enjoin you to drop in your comments, ask your questions. Let's talk about this together. We do not know where all of these informations might actually lead to,
Yeah.
but we know that we are at least one step in the right direction. I would want us to actually delve a little bit into the educational system, because for me, like she said, I like the way she categorized the youth in Nigeria, the ones that don't know and the ones that know what they want and the ones that are involved and all of that. Let's talk about the role of education. I want to direct this question now to Mr. Stephen. The role of education, in electoral process, because you can't give what you don't have or you don't even know. And during the NTAC protest now, I'm actually bringing it up because it was something I remembered. I was in a cab and someone actually said, "You see these people on the street selling things, working and all, they're like a time bomb." And I remember at that time, it got to a point where it was like everything was quelled, and other thugs and other, of course, mostly youths that weren't educated, they're now on the street using this opportunity now to steal items, vandalize people's shop and all of that. And that is because of the role education has played in this country. How many percentage of our youths are even educated to know that when you vote the right person, it's good for the betterment of the country in its entirety. So let us know, Mr. Stephen, the role of education in a country like Nigeria as it concerns the youth.
Thank you very much. The role of education to a progressive nation cannot be more emphasized. We've seen nations moving from poverty, third world country to first world country because of their level of productivity, engaging youth educationally. Look about India. The question was asked on social media, said, who owns the world? Is it America, Britain, or not? And the people like CEOs, young CEOs who are Indians.
Yes.
Now, yes, I can tell you for free that 60% of the world system, the tech world system today are owned by Indians.
Sure. Wow. Sure.
Indians at the point where that as the capital of poverty, lack of education. They took it upon themselves, and the government of India consciously invested on education. Today they are export education. In my interest to know that as of today, India is a signature, a prototype of what health is supposed to be. American goes to India for treatment.
Even with their population.
Yes. Now, we're talking about Singapore. Singapore was a nation as far worse than Nigeria. But a system, a nation, government of the day saw in it that education is the best thing to do. If we want to empower a nation, it's the bedrock of progress. They invested in education. Married to Nigeria. Now we make so much stride in 60s, 50s because our forefathers, the likes of Azikiwe, Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, were schooled, were given platform by the Britain to school. Then they brought it back to Nigeria and dropped it off on their peers. Now, education, like the story said, they will tell that the West, Southwest in Nigeria, are the most educated people. Because a man gave them free education to understand the importance of education. He gave them education for free from primary school to secondary school, at least the basics. These are what we're trying. But unfortunately, reverse is the case that in 21st century, our children cannot go to school. I was so disheartened when I looked at the Minister of Education standing on the podium, speaking to the world and Nigerian, saying that he has failed because he cannot bring Amajari back to school. Nigerian universities are on strike for 8 months, and you are still a minister. What are you ministering? And he's still there for 8 years. He's still there as a minister. Sit tight. Now, our problem is sit tight men who are not living for legacy, who are living for their pockets. They don't care. In as much they are myself, my family, our school, my children, school and abroad, it doesn't matter the masses what they went through. But the truth is that they reverse because you know why? Today, those uneducated masses are kidnapping them today. Those people, I was listening yesterday, somebody said that Moaba house was invaded. It was in the Senate. It was in the Senate for a while. But that was in the Senate for a while. What did you do in River State? How many youth did you empower? In my cousin in Delta State, a man came up and said he's going for Senate. My kindred, when the same kindred platform, I asked one simple question. I said, you were a chairman for 3 years, chairman for 3 years. You are commissioner for health, commissioner for education, commissioner for specialty, commissioner for this, different commissioner, almost 5 portfolio.
One person.
Yes, one person in Delta State. I'm talking about. I don't want to mention names here. Now he's coming out to represent us. Now God has blessed you with different offices. I'm not asking how many people do you elevate from poverty? How many foundation can people say, I have transformed the life of hundreds of youth from this point to skilled men? How many? Just give us, just grade the road. Don't even type. Grade the road every year. Just give us pipe. How many borehole did you stand in my town? Water is a challenge. What should we in Delta State? Water is a challenge, and we have men who are aspiring for offices again, and they've been there for years. Now the question is, how many primary school did you rebuild? Did you send books to? The question is, we have a problem, systemic problem. People sit tight attitude, they don't care because right now, if you know that the number of persons who are going back to the same house of work has reduced. Sure. The caution that if I don't do well, I won't go back. Sure. Because most of us who are like he said, who are enlightened are going to enlighten others. In 2 months, in less than 2 months, I braided a support group that can boast of over 2,000 members in less than 2 months. And these members are going to wait other people. So that is the way to go. Educate them. Informal education is the best way to go, first of all. Because you cannot afford to send them to school, but use your informal education to at least give them the basic orientation and direct them with things.
Okay, Jennifer, I think I'll comment.
Okay, Ifeoma Uke just says there is no polling unit on social media. Youth should be prepared to go out and vote for their preferred candidates in February 2023. I have more comments from other people. They say congratulations. Hawa Muhammad said happy. And the third anniversary click Naija Asmal said congratulations. Elizabeth Erike. Thank you so much. Remy Okinwa also saying congratulations to Click Naija. Thank you so much, Will. And also Ene Kenyawe saying how can one person be given the chance to be commissioner in different capacities? They should give way for the youths to rule. Like I'm also surprised. So I don't know if people want to add more, to what he has been saying.
Okay, let me based on what you're saying something about some politicians not mentoring. We still have some politicians that mentor people in Nigeria.
No, they don't mentor. What they're doing these days is reward system. You work for me, I reward you.
Okay.
No, I disagree with you because we all know. I don't know if I'm permitted to mention name, but not mentioning names, at least we know of a politician that with all the gang ups against him, he was able to scale through for the party primaries. For a singular reason, he mentored a whole lot of people. Mm. Those people are the most relevant people in politics today. You agree with me? You have to put out yourself to be mentored. The Nigerian youth of today don't have a role model.
You have to show their ability.
You have to show. No, the thing is, sorry, Nigerian youth needs to hear this. Please, as a Nigerian youth, look for an individual older than you, experienced than you, better than you in all ramification. Pick that person. That person should take you through the process. Leadership is not something you just jump to. Those that make mistakes and costly mistakes, and those that brought us to where we are today, were those that did not get proper mentorship. If you are being mentored, you have a role model. What is it that role model is doing perfectly? The person will tell you, don't involve in this, don't involve in this, don't involve in this. So, yes, like for myself, I have a role model. My role model is a permanent secretary. He retired as a permanent secretary in Ministry of Niger Delta. He held very good positions as a permanent secretary. But he left the service without a single house in Abuja. Without a single land in Abuja. Why? Because he knows the implication of when you take public funds. He set his record straight. For me, when you talk about Abdul Adnan Kosko, so many people just say, wow, he's rigid. It's not about rigidity. It's about I have defined who is it I am. I am in politics today. I am leading one of the largest support groups. At the moment, we're about 1,200,000 and something members, and we're driving at 2.2 million members. And we did that within a couple of just 5 months. And we're still up. So now Nigerian youth should please get a role model. You cannot give what you don't have.
Okay, Joe, let's hear finally from lovely Obi and Mr. Adamu Shukoye. Let's start from lovely.
Well, is it still on the education?
Just generally, just give us your last
well,
message.
the value attached to education is what we're seeing today. If a good value is attached to education, you will see good products of education. So comparing the previous years and what we're having today is pathetic. Yeah. Even I most times when I want to do some stuff with my kids, when I look at it, I'll be like, this is not how we did now. You will do a lot of things, that time. But however, I just want to encourage all the Nigerian youths. It's no more business as usual. God is using us mightily as it stands, and 2023 election is beyond human. That's one thing I will say. It's beyond human. Divinity will step into that. And yes, that is why 3 years, we are celebrating 3 years here too. Divinity will step into 2023 election, and I just want to encourage all the Nigerian youths not to be afraid. Not to be afraid, fear. Please do come out, cast your votes, and let's get to have our choice candidates on seats by the grace of God. Thank you.
All right, but I want to stress on that point someone mentioned, that there are no polling units on social media. I want to encourage our youth to go off social media, get their PVCs. So on the day of elections, they will vote candidates of their choice.
So
and then finally, let's not always wait for election period to come before we start getting involved. That is our problem. We always wait for election period to come before we start getting involved. Election period is here now. And then most of us are coming, if not this person, if not that person. And then immediately after the elections again, we'll go back to sleep, waiting for another period to come. So let's not always wait for election to come. Let's continue to participate. Wherever you are, whatsoever thing you are doing, participate, directly or indirectly. Let's just participate. Thank you.
I want to stand on the same platform my brother just said. Let the youth begin to get involved. And the work of hosting elections, don't wait until there's election period, because preparedness meet opportunity is equal success. When you prepare over the years, success hits you. It's not it, and that's another thing. You have to prepare. Let the youth begin to prepare themselves to take up the mantle of leadership, because leadership is not given at the Leadership is something conscious preparation. Thank you.
After your closing remarks.
Yes, the youth need to wake up and get involved. Nobody will give you power. You have to go there, if possible, snatch it.
Snatch it.
Snatch it. Yes, if possible, snatch it. The youth should know your vote will count now. So please get involved. Don't allow anybody to tell you your vote will not count. And mind you, so many youths are even involved in the electoral process. Why? For peanuts. When you are getting involved, it should be about, I want to change Nigeria. I want Nigeria to work for the betterment of all. Look at nations like Dubai, Qatar, and the rest of them. They are doing wonderfully well. Why? Because their youths are involved. Their youths are involved. When you go there, you see the kind of seminars, workshops. That's why today they are talking about artificial intelligence and what have you. We are still here. Ordinary e-government, we've not been able to adapt. They are already talking about m-government. Government is already going on your mobile phones. So please, Nigerian youth should wake up. We have the best brains. We have what it takes. We can be the great nation we used to be.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who joined us live on Facebook and YouTube videos. Our handles is Click Naija and Click Naija. Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Sincerely appreciate you. Make your comments, like, and of course, endeavor to share.
Also, thanks to our supervising producer, Ehigohiani. My name is Nasir Yunusa, and
I am Jennifer Ogo. Bye.